Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Blockbull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today, I did say in the previous video that we will be looking at VELO and Stronghold tokens, both tokens built on Stellar Lumens, one of the ISO 222 coins. So without further ado, let's flick over to the VELO chart. Now VELO is one of the top gainers on my watch list here over on TradingView. Now it has been fluctuating, but at the time of recording you can see VELO is up here 9.5%. We have been slightly higher today. However, VELO is on the right side of this major critical sort of supply and demand area here, as you can see, which is highlighted with this yellow horizontal line here, which marks this green weekly candle here, which was printed back in February of 23. So that's going back over a year since this sort of significant sort of price action took place. Now since then we've obviously been trailing down here, and then we've had that doji candle where we blasted out, and then we've actually smashed through the ceiling. We looked to create and flip that area of resistance into support. Unfortunately VELO did fail, and we did fall quite heavily to retest these sort of lows here, where there's quite a lot of sort of price action which has been going on. So there's a lot of retail traders getting in and out around this sort of area, which is exactly why VELO has decided to come down here as low as this sort of price action here. Now I've also drawn in this extra red trend line as well to show where we've actually bounced from the peak. So from the peak there all the way down here, we've caught that red candle nicely. Then that's where we've got the bounce, not enough volume, not enough strength in the market, which is why we've wicked down again into the red trend line. Ever since we actually created that sort of interim law or local law in the past, that was printed there around 5th of August, that extra week, we've literally catapulted up here. We've actually, without any hesitation, we've actually cracked the ceiling. So it's looking very good now for VELO in particular. Now I'm just going to measure up now where we've actually come from, this sort of red trend line here. So we're already up about 110, 111% already, since we were saying on this channel that that would be a great entry anywhere after this red trend line. Obviously you wanted to get in here, and again we've retested. So VELO has given us umpteen opportunities to get in. Now obviously there was a lot of people, VELO did come to sort of it becomes sort of pronounced because VELO, that video that I covered, it just come out of nowhere. There was obviously other influencers, there was other crypto people over on X in the crypto community that was looking at VELO, especially when Stronghold was going, it was almost going viral in the crypto community. Then there was some other guy saying, hey, take a look at this other blockchain that's also built on Stellar, take a look at this VELO, here we go. So there's a lot of people actually capturing the tops of this sort of move here back in sort of April, May time. Then ever since, pretty much all the retail have actually clocked onto it. All crypto X as a crypto community have got in. We're actually at a loss. Now I did say I was selling my bags, and now that is notable over on my X as well. I was telling you guys I feel like we've made a sort of local peak. So this is where I got out, and I was literally anytime under any sort of price underneath this yellow horizontal line, I was saying to, you know, re-enter the market were a good buy. Obviously if you got in on this red trend line as well, that is an absolute exceptional buy as well. So you got that at a massive discount, and as I've just mentioned, we're already up about 110% from this bottom trend line here. So we have literally just had the monthly close as well, so I can go over to the monthly, but on the weekly already we're already seeing ourselves out of the woods now. So I would be looking for an extra week, maybe 2 week candles. So I want to get a couple of closes above this sort of yellow, and then I know we are outside of the woods. Once we're outside of the woods, you can see where our next target is here. So I've drawn in another extra line here. Now this is where the liquidity is going to be coming into the market, in my opinion, which is still approximately, despite the 110% gains from this red trend line up to sort of current price action, 110% gains. If you was to get in, not financial advice, at current prices of VELO, you'd be looking at a minimum of about 200 to 215% gains, in my opinion, to our next target, before we can expect maybe a retracement down to retest these local highs here around just above, or just below, sorry, below 2.5 cents there on the chart. So I would expect us to make a decent move now through September, October, definitely going into Q4 of this year. Then we could look to retrace around maybe 50%. We could come even deeper. We could even come back down to sort of current price action to this sort of yellow first horizontal line. So anywhere between 50 to 70% retracements. You've got to be careful with these cryptos, because even though they've got massive returns in the markets, they are highly, highly volatile. Now, when I first got into Velo and when I first sold my bag here, because I do a little bit of trading on the sideline, I struggled to fulfill my sell orders because there weren't enough buyers actually coming into the market, even though this Velo was actually going viral at the time. So be very, very careful. It's not as if you can ape in with tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, pounds, whatever your fiat currency is. It's very, very difficult to get in and out of position. So I do recommend holding for the long term. But these are why these sort of interim sort of targets are very important, because we're not day trading crypto. There's not enough liquidity for me personally if I'm dealing with larger sums of capital. If you're dealing with like 50, 60, 70 dollars here, there and everywhere, it's not so bad. You know, we can afford to lose that, and there's plenty of liquidity in the market to fulfill those small orders. But like I said, there's not enough liquidity. So if you've got like anywhere like, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and above, then these are the sort of targets you want to be looking for before exiting your positions, in my opinion. Now, that is Velo. I will swap over to Stronghold as well, which again is also built on Stellar, which is why I'm covering these two particular cryptos together. Now, previously, this is old TA again, but it still stands, which is why I like to do TA on the macro. So, anytime, excuse me, anytime on like the weekly or the monthly, obviously we're dealing with big time frames. It's not as if we're on the hourly time chart and I'm covering these videos on a daily basis, like saying, yeah, we're going to go up, we're going to go down. Like day to day, I could be bearish, but in a long term sort of view, you know, ultimately I'm bullish, because I believe pretty much like going into December, into January, this is when the altcoin market is going to get exceptionally bullish, because we're going to see some big moves, especially with the altcoins. Now, it's common knowledge that Bitcoin actually exceeded its all-time high back from the like 2020, 2021 bull market. We've already exceeded previous highs. Now, altcoins haven't done the same yet, and this is what we're all expecting in the crypto community, for all altcoins at some point to then catch up. Whether or not that's by Christmas, who knows, but I certainly believe that altcoins have got some massive ROI, and they will make people multi-millionaires if you're not already got a ton in your bags already. So this is where we are. Now, let's zoom into Stronghold. Now, as you can see, I'm just going to give my rationale as to why I've actually drawn this blue order block. The reason being, you can see this weekly close here, this green candle, so I marked that. So that was the sort of first impulse in this particular move. So that for me is sort of important price action that I need to take note of, and I need to also note where we've actually retraced to before we actually got that second impulse, which is why I've drawn this blue order block. Now you can see this doji candle here. Again, this is indecision. This is usually a signal that within the coming weeks, usually it's a week or two after, but this has been playing out 4 candles after this doji candle here. Doji candles are where they've got a small body and they've got a wick either side where it's gone up and down. So there's a lot of volatility, not enough liquidity, and it usually indicates that we're going to make a big move. However, we've just consolidated. We've literally been going sideways. Now, it's a little bit concerning that we're currently trading below that sort of order block. But in the same breath, it's a great opportunity because you're getting in at discounted prices. Okay, and the fact that you're getting in below the order block, to me, signals that the fortune favours the brave. So in my opinion, we could come as low as down here around 0.0024. However, the reward outweighs the risk, similarly to Velo. So I do expect us to run up here. Now, if he was to run up, I can do a simple sort of measured move here. So if I go from current price action, and rather than going from the wick, I like to take 50% of this sort of tool to that weekly sort of close there. So I'll show you what I'm doing there. So you can see there. So I believe we can run up here. I believe we can run up to about 450%. So that is my opinion on Stronghold at the moment. Now, if we was to go over to Fibonacci as well, which is also a reliable tool to plot sort of targets. Now, we'll go from sort of this weekly high here. Again, I'm not going from the wick, I'm going from the weekly close. And I've taken down this bottom line here to the bottom of the closes there. You can see roughly that is the bottom on the weekly. Now let's just have a look at top fibs. Top fibs there coming in around, well, it's just coming in below 4 cents. So I'm not going to mark it out there with that yellow line. Give or take, we'll call it there. Now if I was to measure up in terms of percentage gains, let's just have a look from current price action, which is here. We're talking approximately a 9-10x move in my opinion for Stronghold. So Stronghold again looks really good in terms of risk to reward. However, we have seen VELO. VELO is for me a better pick in terms of market caps. I believe Stronghold has actually got a smaller market cap than VELO at the moment. Correct me if I'm mistaken in the comments if I am incorrect. I've not double checked over on CoinMarketCap. However, I still believe even if VELO has got a more sort of a bigger market cap than Stronghold, I still believe VELO can make bigger moves. Just because we have, one, because we've got more data on VELO, and two, we've actually visited these prices before. Now I do believe with VELO the tokenomics have differed slightly to this previous cycle. And I believe I also asked one of my followers to do the math on the tokenomics to actually gain the equivalent sort of prices up here. And I believe our target was around here where these markers are coming in, and I'll just point them out here. So I think it was around here. I think it's around $1.27. So that for me is an important target around there. And you can see this wick going into it as well. So that is one to keep an eye on. Obviously, I don't expect this $1.27 on VELO to be achieved anytime this year. I would expect that to be obliterated come the end of the cycle in approximately about Q3. Maybe rolling into Q4 of next year before obviously we exceed all-time highs, and we'll probably do 3 or 4 weeks where we literally just spike up, create a new all-time high, and then capitulation into the bear market. Anyway guys, that's enough from me today. I've been the Block Bull. If you've got any questions, if you like the video, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Do what you got to do as always guys. I've been the Block Bull. Take it easy guys. Until next time, God bless you.